The year is 2025, and Chinese motorcycles are just part of life here in the United States. Love them or hate them, they're here, they're not going anywhere, and the reality is, some of them are absolutely amazing. And some, well, let's just say they're better suited as lawn ornaments. So my question is how can there be such a wide gap in between the good ones and the bad ones?
This is a Chinese-built motorcycle. It is a Benelli TNT 135, and it has given me so far 3,600 miles of perfect riding with no problems, no issues, and actually enjoyable riding. It starts up great, it sounds good, the quality of the bike is excellent, everything from the welds to the forks to the running gear, the engine, everything has been amazing. And yet, this is a Chinese motorcycle. This is a Chinese-made motorcycle by BUSCADERO. It has provided me hundreds of hours of full throttle ripping at many motorcycle events throughout last summer. In fact, everybody at Mid-Ohio that attended pretty much rode this bike along with myself. I think it did about 9,000 barrel racing laps before it was shut down. And yet, it's a Chinese motorcycle. This is a Chinese motorcycle that has had many modifications. It has been abused for over 4 years by everybody from a motocross professional woman from the UK, Haley Bell, who did about 5,000 laps at Mid-Ohio on this bike, to most of the motorcycles and misfits from Santa Cruz when they came down to Mid-Ohio. It's been abused by me and all the guys from Cleveland Moto at every single event. It's done ice racing in the back. It's been... This bike has been abused so many times by so many people, it had to get its prostitution license from Nevada. And again, this is a Chinese-made motorcycle. So as much as I think that at this point in time, the old trope of if it's a Chinese bike, it's crap is dead, I think we have to start judging each bike that's built in China individually and look at the quality of each one. Because how can China build bikes like this and also build something like this?
This is the REGAL RAPTOR. If you watched my AIM Expo video, you've probably seen a little bit about this, but I've been thinking about this a lot. Look at this thing. This looks like the motorcycle interpretation from Dollar General. Look at this toy, and then look at the bike. They're the same thing. So my question to you guys is, seeing that the pit bikes and the TNT 135 I just showed you, and then the Moto Marinis that Phil's bringing in, and a lot of these other bikes that are really halfway decent in quality, and then all the bikes that China's making for Yamaha and Kawasaki and all the other brands, it's like, how can they make all that and then yet have these other companies that just put out the most ridiculously terrible stuff? I kind of feel bad for them. Like, this is a great opportunity for somebody out there to start a consulting firm, to be like, hey man, run your plans past me before you go into production. Because think about it, the REGAL RAPTOR made it through meetings, they made it through design meetings, they made it through production meetings and tooling meetings. They had to make all the things to make that bike so they could make a bunch of them, and they were confident that that design was gonna rule the world, and especially the US. They were so proud of it. When we went to the booth, they were so excited to talk to us. They didn't really like what we had to say, but I found that being honest is much better than just pussyfooting around when it comes to something like that. But what are your thoughts behind this? Like, do they just not care? Are they making it for a different market and trying to bring it here? What market do you think thinks that that bike is good looking? Because again, China can make some really good looking bikes. And they can also make some complete turds. So again, don't get political, I'm not interested in that, but give me your thoughts on how these guys can be so blind to put so much time and effort and money into producing a motorcycle that is completely unappealing. Like, let's take a look at this other one. They took a trend from 2000, so that's 24 years ago, 25 years ago, and put a 300 series tire on basically a small 500cc or 800cc cruiser. It's gonna handle terrible. It looks terrible. It's so in the past. Does anybody want a 300 size tire on the back of their bike in 2025? I hope not. But again, they did this. They brought this to the AIM show expecting us to slobber over it and buy it. So how does that happen? I want to know, guys. Throw me a comment. We got a lot going on. I got a whole bunch of stuff to tell you guys about. I'm leaving on a real quick day trip in a day here, and I'm going to have a whole video about that. We got shows coming up. We got the DGR coming up, all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't, go ahead and throw a like on this video and throw a subscribe down there. We got all kinds of cool stuff coming up, so you don't want to miss it. And hey, man, if it works, it ain't dumb. Let me know your thoughts, and try not to be political. I'm not interested in politics. I'm interested in thoughts on how these bikes come to be, how you can have A, which is awesome, and B, which is like the world's biggest turd coming out of the same country. Let me know. See you on the next one.